Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. This is Tim, and I'm coming back at you with a new video this week, and it's Talkies! Hooray! Now, I do have a video from the past week of festivities that I want to crank out for you guys because I'm really excited to show you. It probably is going to be my favorite progressional to show just with everything that happened, but I'm trying some new things and learning some new stuff with editing, so in order to give that video proper justice, but also to give me time to feel up some new editing software and stuff I've been trying out, I'm just taking a little bit more time with that video. But that will be up by next week. However, for this week, I got something fun to talk about. So, yesterday, my brother, myself, and my dad all went out and we saw a movie called Dunkirk. And it was very good. I personally loved it. I don't fully know about them. They kind of half and half talked about it, but overall, I thought it was great. Maybe not the best Christopher Nolan movie, but I thought it was very entertaining. I really liked it. My favorite thing of the movie, just to get that out there, was the music. And also, I won't really go into spoilers or anything for this, so this is a safe place. Don't worry. I want you guys to see this movie, so I won't dive into spoilers so that you guys get the best experience. But gosh dang, I gotta say the music was my absolute favorite bit. You know, just from what I remember, the music wasn't the biggest, like the most complex thing on the earth. However, I kind of think back to movies like Jaws where dun 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 dun, it just had this very simple yet effective nature. This movie's music, from what I heard, focused on effectiveness rather than complexity and lavishness and wonder. Um, I did do research before I saw the movie and then also again afterwards because I loved it so much was Nolan's use of shepherd tones and then also clocks in his music. So what that feeds into the movie, into the themes, is just this constant sense of paranoia, of peril, and then also just constant moving forward adrenaline. And in case you don't know, shepherd tones is this illusion that the music is constantly rising and rising infinitely. And then adding a clock into this kind of adds this very fast, we're running out of time, or whatever is coming towards us is getting here by the second, and it's getting closer and closer and closer. There's also moments that when things hit the fan and are exploding, it has this kind of repetitive dun 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 dun, just over and over and over, and just you really feel the dread of the moment. Again, this music's effectiveness is off the charts. Um, Also, just other things I loved was just kind of like the cinematography, how they shot certain sets. Nolan loving to abuse planes once again, and then also constantly drown people in the movie. Like, my gosh. I also don't really know the historical accuracy of the movie. From what I heard, it's actually very close, if not perfect. I think very close at least. Um, but my gosh, just you are completely sucked into the movie, and you feel sympathy for the characters in the movie, and then also for the people that were actually involved. You really get sucked into it. At least me personally. It was also I found it interesting, but we did find it a little bit confusing with how the story was narrated. It's narrated into three parts. One's the mole, which is someone who is on the ground trying to leave the shores. There's the sea, which is a group of people who were tasked with going out to Dunkirk to pick people up in civilian ships because they were having difficulty getting people out in warships. And then there's the air, in which it's these three air pilots basically trying to fight off bombers so the ships can leave to go back home. And with how they presented it, I really found it interesting. However, for maybe at least the first third of the movie, I was trying to figure out, how are they trying to narrate these three sections? There was a key moment that happened where I went, okay, now I see how they're trying to narrate it. But up to that point, I was still engaged with what was going on. I just felt confused with how they were telling it, and I was trying to figure out if the story was trying to have a main character. With each story there is a main focus, or at least there's at least one character that you can primarily pour all your focus into. However, I think the movie itself, and especially when all three of the stories mesh together, that's the character of the movie. The story itself is pretty much the character. um, but you're still emotionally engaged with what's going on. I really think again the scenes where you're constantly again with the music supplementing when you're seeing the struggle of them just trying to leave the beach. It's basically they basically feel like they're trapped in hell and constantly trying to get on ships to go out. It gets bombed and they have to get off if they survived and then go back to the shores to get on another boat or to try again, people's desperation of just wanting to get off, oil spills going over and lighting on fire, and people underwater going, do I drown or do I go up and burn and hopefully come out alive? And the biggest one that kept persisting was people's paranoia of getting onto the boats and thinking, are we going to get hit? And if we do, where will I be when the water starts filling up? And can I get out in time? Adding with the music, which again was my favorite part of it, you are sucked in. In general, movies where, I give this credit to Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, scenes where characters are underwater and the time limit's running out or the intensity's building up and you're drowning, that gets to me every time. And this movie has so much drowning. This movie has so much drowning. My gosh, but you are sucked in. Um, and the effectiveness of this movie, my gosh, it really illustrates this, at least the story, not even thinking of the historical accuracy, whether or not it's correct or like on the nose or not. Just you were sucked into this movie personally. We also we also went boating earlier that day. So, when you kind of have the rockiness of the boat and then it was also hot, this kind of banging headache, having that already in your system, it really it had you can smell the salty air as this movie has it smells good. But overall, yeah, if you have not seen Dunkirk and you're up for it, totally see it. If you're worried about the intensity of it, like thinking of like the opening to Saving Private Ryan with limbs flying off, it doesn't really go into a goriness nature. It doesn't really go into that type of intensity and violence. But as far as the emotional impact and just feeling it in your gut, this film has a lot of that. So, that's if you're squeamish on that, that's how you can prepare it. But my recommendation, totally see this movie. It was absolutely worth it. But yeah, that's my that's my little review of it. Totally see Dunkirk. I think it was fantastic. But overall, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a comment if you feel like it. Press that shiny subscribe button if you want more ridiculous content like this, or even better. We like better. But yeah, thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.